this strainer, rinse it out really good, go ahead and cut them up, because that is another thing that you should know. I think I've said this on the video before. Of course I'm going to pull out a short one, but usually they're really, really long, and after you cook them, they're hard to cut. So I cut them first. I learned the hard way. So I'm going to rinse them really good, cut them into like bite-sized pieces, and then I'm going to put them in the microwave for 1 minute, and then I'm going to drain them and dry them, and then we'll get back to making the soup. Okay, I've really got to get this rolling because I'm supposed to be at the movies in like an hour and a half. Okay, I forgot to tell you that sometimes when you're going to use the butternut squash raw, it's easier just to peel away the skin than to try to cut the flesh out. It comes out of the skin easily when it's baked. So my beans are still going. I think I'll add that bouillon cube now, but now it's been, what, 40 minutes or so, so you really do have to cook these hard and long. Even turn it back up. So I've got a pan over here warming up. I'm going to probably start with a simmer fry, and I'm going to use the butternut squash first because that's what's going to take the longest to cook. And I had thought about this, about the garlic. You know how it burns in there sometimes when you simmer fry? So I'm just going to sprinkle a little garlic all on the vegetables. And then again, we're going to use this broth and a bay leaf when it's cooking. When the broth is in, then I'll add the bay leaf. So, where did my Jiggy go? Aha. So I'm going to scoop up my squash, and as they begin to sizzle and dry out, I'll add a little bit of water, and I'm going to let them simmer fry. So I'll let them begin to get tender. And then I will add the peppers and onion, which are beautiful coloring, and let them simmer fry till they get a little bit of soft. So I want my veggies to get soft before I add the broth. After I add the broth, I'll let it cook for probably 20 minutes. And then I will add a ½ cup of these Boca ground meatless crumbles, which is where most of the protein's coming from, these crumbles and from the white beans, which I'll add at the very end. They won't need to be cooked anymore, except at the rate I'm going, maybe they will. By the way, what I'm using is Dixie Lily Great Northern Beans, and they have 70 calories for a ¼ cup. I don't know if you can see the stove because it's the farthest one away. This is going to be really bright and colorful. That's a good thing. And, oh, calories. So 60 for this, 20 for the peppers, 10 for the onion, so it's about a whole small pepper, but it's half and half, and a ¼ of a small onion. This is going to serve 2. A ½ package of shiritaki noodles, which will have the 20 calories, I think. This whole can has 30 calories. Butternut squash had 35, so it's not going to be high. It'll probably be 100 calories per serving, something very simple like that. So I'm going to let those cook, say, 3 minutes. And then I'm going to add those and let it simmer fry for another 3 minutes. Then I'm going to add my broth and let it cook for 20 minutes. I'm going to write this down. 3 times 3 times 20. Then I'll add my Boca and the noodles. That'll be times 5. And when I add the broth, I'll add the bay leaf. And then when it's done, I'll add the beans. So it looks like 30 minutes, 5, so, 30, 40 minutes is actual stew time, because you got to make it the way you like it. And if the time I said doesn't make the butternut squash soft, then obviously I need to cook it longer. So I will show you the finished product. Remember, I'm going to add those noodles at the very end, so they're in there just like 5 minutes, okay? Okay, it's been probably an hour since we started this process, and I did add more water because I boiled some of my broth out. So I added more water, and in retrospect, I think I might use lentils next time. I often do use lentils. There's, I think, a recipe on here with lentils. But the noodles and the white beans maybe was too much, but this whole thing has less than 200 calories, or 210 calories, I'm sorry. It's just a ton of food. It would definitely serve more than 2 people, but I hope that you can see it. And I should have put, there's a secret about pouring hot stuff in glass that you should put something metal in, I've heard. And I've taken out my bay leaf, so no one will choke on it. Uh-oh, I think I put 2 in there, so I'll have to go look for the other one. But I hope that this is being caught in the camera. Very colorful, tasty. Butternut squash is nice and soft, and it'll feed 2 or 3 people. 210 calories for the whole thing. That's volumetrics.